Hello ladies and gentlemen, it is Charlie Fibrosis in the number 40 car now. So we did do a sponsorship change in the last episode. We got the United States Army to sponsor us, which is cool. So I do apologize to those of you who are watching. This won't matter much in the future when I say this, but unfortunately I did try to do a NASCAR Heat 2 live stream to start off the season at Daytona, interestingly enough. And something is very, very wrong where the game is, not the game, but the stream is lagging terribly. So just figured I'd go ahead and just run Daytona for the NASCAR Thunder 2003 season, and we'll just do it that way. I will find out here sometime soon exactly how to do the resolution setup a little bit better for OBS and YouTube, how to get them to work a little bit better, but for the time being, this works. This is how it works. So, give me just a moment and we will get to racing. Alright, let's go ahead and get into it. Once again, I do apologize for those of you who are coming in to watch NASCAR Heat 2. I really wanted to play it tonight. But unfortunately, sometimes we have to make compromises sometimes. And tonight, unfortunately, was one of those cases. But I have been having fun with NASCAR Thunder as well, so that's okay. Not the end of the world. And you guys get NASCAR content either way. And that's always a good thing. Alright, scans, and back to our setups page, and let's get into it. Tire pressure, size, 22. You know, I find it interesting, and I kind of wonder if I'm just cursed or something. When I think about how my career has gone in NASCAR Thunder, it's season 2 that I've been having an absolute awful time in. And in NASCAR Heat 2, we're about to start our season, but we've got an issue with the recording software. So does that mean that there's a bad omen that season 2, the sophomore year of my NASCAR career, is going to be bad? That's not a good feeling if that's the case. There was one thing I forgot to do that I do need to do right now. I think this is my Sonoma car. We need my Daytona car. Yeah, that was, sorry, a Michigan car. There we go. And I think, let's see here. Let's overhaul some stuff. We're going to take the most beat up thing that we've got. And we're going to overhaul that for 2 races. And we're going to overhaul, let's just overhaul that for 3 races. And we're still doing a build, so it's going to take 1 race to do so. I really wish I could eventually balance out everything, because the idea that I'd like to have is I'd like to have, like, for example, 4 cars, 4 chassis, and 1 chassis that's always being built. And then when it gets worn down, we can go ahead and sell it and make some money off of the scrap metal. Because with how I race my cars and everything, not many teams would want to buy it. Alright, let's just double check things. I think we're in the good, so I think we're ready to go ahead and qualify for Daytona. Off to the races we go. And the good news is this car, this setup, especially now that we're at like another level, we're not really going to run the risk of blowing up like we do at Talladega. Talladega is just a little bit longer, and the way that the track and the car handles is a little bit different. So, contrary to popular belief, you can't, well, I mean, someone could probably do it, but my Talladega setup would not work at Daytona, and my Daytona setup would not work at Talladega in turn. And that's a good qualifying run, 12th place right now. I think we can get on the pole this lap. We just gotta keep it off the wall and try not to scrub off too much speed in the middle. So officially, as I think about it, we have raced with 3 out of the 4 manufacturers in NASCAR Thunder. We ran a Ford our very first season. We've been running a Chevrolet most of our second season. And we got a Dodge because of the sponsorship deal. And that's going to be a pole. That is definitely a pole position. That is awesome to see. Alright, let's go ahead and get into the race.
Super Speedway action under the lights. MRN is live at the Daytona International Speedway this evening with flag-to-flag coverage of the Pepsi 400. With a history and prestige here at this track, the teams seem to be all pushing themselves just a little harder this week.
There's no doubt about it. A lot of these NASCAR and Winston Cup drivers will tell you that it's really no different winning here than anywhere else. But those are the guys who haven't done it yet. Once their name is in the history books here, I guarantee you they'll change their mind.
The 40 car has not had the finishes he's hoped for in the past couple races.
And trust me, it hasn't been for the lack of effort. Those guys have been working hard all season. Maybe they can right the ship with a good finish here.
Ward Burton often seems to struggle at the super speedway tracks.
I spoke to some members of his crew about that this morning. They said they just can't seem to find a car that works well in the draft. They think they've made vast improvements since the last time, though, so keep an eye on him in the race.
Kurt Busch, who's currently in the top 10 in points, will try to reach that next step, the top 5.
Yeah, he needs to focus on this race. A poor finish can quickly bounce you out of the top 10, but a win can gain you several positions, might even put you in the top 5. We'll see what happens.
I feel bad for Ward Burton because had we not won the Daytona 500 last season, he would have had a better record. And that's not his fault. That's just, we were way too fast in our rookie year. Which I still am baffled that we won the 500 in our very first attempt. With how consistent we are at the super speedways now, for the most part, probably would have made sense if we won in 2003 or 2004 next season. If anything, I expect, or I'm hoping by 2004, 2005, we're going to be in championship form. We will no longer be just a super speedway ringer. We'll actually be able to do well at every track. We'll do well at Pocono. We'll do well at Michigan. We'll do well at California. We'll do well at Watkins Glen and Sonoma. You know, we're going to get wins other places. Hopefully even a Coke 600. The only track that I don't really see myself doing any better at, but maybe improving some on, is like New Hampshire. New Hampshire's always been a very difficult track for me. Yep, the Super Speedway Master indeed at work. But I've got a little bit more competition this go around. I got the likes of Mark Martin, I got Ricky Rudd, I got Jeff Gordon and Bobby Labonte all hunting on my tail. But how are you, my buddy Schwal? How are you doing? Alright, let's see here. Around lap 8, I think I need to pit. Wow, it's like the top five. Yeah, really the top five have just broken away from the rest of the field. I think that's Dale Jarrett, that little white blurb in the back of the mirror there. Let's throw the block on Mark. That was incredibly dangerous, but it paid off. Right now, I'm just mirror driving. There's actually one thing that I do actually like about 2003 over 2004 in terms of the NASCAR games is in 2004 you can only get this panel, the digital dash, when you are in the cockpit view. You can't do it when you're outside of the car. So that causes a lot of problems for me in terms of like marking and checking things. It's much easier to read out a digital gauge on the fuel than it is to try and read out a tiny analog gauge. Alright, so we do have some cars coming down to the pits. I think we can hold off 2 laps and make our stop. And knowing what we know at Daytona, let's go ahead and do this for the from the 500. And Ward Button is not going to get the finish he needs. Hey, welcome everyone, welcome. Alright, Jeff Gordon trying to work his way to the inside. Kind of baffled for like a car that's running out in clean air. We're really quick. We don't really need too much drafting to be fast. We just are. Alright, I think it's going to be time to go into the pits. Perfect entry. Alright. You know what? I'm gonna go for a full tank because I don't really want to push it and risk running out. So right side tires, full tank of gas. So if I ever do manage to get NASCAR Heat 2 working again for the stream, for streaming, who do you think is gonna want to hire me as a hot seat driver? Name me some teams down below that you think want to take a good old chance on old Charlie Fibrosis. I'm personally hoping Hendrick Motorsport signs me on. Hendrick Motorsports or Chip Ganassi Racing. There's my arch enemy. So we're up to 25th. I don't know what's up. Somehow the stream does seem to be stuttering a little bit tonight. I'm gonna look that into it and see what I can do. I was thinking that was the 28. I do have to say, good strategy on his part, because he managed to get in and out faster than I did. So we'll get around him though, and we're going to get back to the lead here in just a few moments. Third. Running fast to the outside of Mark Martin, second. And drafting off the back of the 24, we're going to slip to the outside. And we will get around Jeff Gordon on the high side of the track. Drag race. And beat him out by a half a car length there at the line. Now a car length. There we go, back in the lead. So now we pretty much have an insurmountable lead against, really between the three of us, we've got probably like 7 to 8 car lengths back on 4th place, so... Two to go. Ooh. This is going to be interesting. Side by side. Pushing ahead a little bit faster. That draft actually does help some. Got to keep the inside line closed up. You know, knowing my luck, if I was running NASCAR Heat 2 right now, the car would probably be slipping and just lose so much control on the inside line there. It hit the ridge where the bottom of the track is, where the apron is, and just smack sideways and lose it. Yeah, that's maybe something I'll do. Tribute to Ricky Rudd, I'll make my car the 28. You know, make it like a Haviland-esque paint scheme. In NASCAR Heat 2. Alright, here we go. Oh dear. Big wiggle. White flag. Gonna fly. So Jeff Gordon, unfortunately, is kind of out of contention now. Unless he gets like a supercharge of steam here. But in the meantime, just holding off Ricky Rudd. Alright guys, chalk that up as a redemption win after losing out in February and losing here last year. We're going to win the Pepsi 400 at Daytona.
We got the win. Awesome job.
Changes were pretty scarce.
Yeah,
Yep.
there weren't too many battles up front for position. Those guys who ran in the top 5 were pretty dominant all race long.
The 40 car really did a fantastic job keeping his car away from trouble all race long.
And that'll be a relief on the old wallet, too. Costs big money to keep these NASCAR Winston Cup cars in tip-top shape week in and week out. When you don't damage them on race day, helps save a lot of time and a lot of money.
From all of us here at EA Sports and MRN, we hope you enjoyed tonight's race. We'll see you next week at Chicago.
Chicagoland. I think we were contending for a 3rd place finish there last year, and we just ran out of gas. You know, I gotta say, if they continue our sponsorship well into the future, I'd very much keep with the 40. I'm not a big fan of Dodge personally, but this season has just been miserable by comparison. Because we lost out on the 500. We only won Talladega. We've had strings of bad race after bad race after bad race after bad race. And we just now got ourselves another win and got another big payday. That was needed so much. And even then, the earnings it's not awful, but it could be better. Alright, let's check on things. So they're only going to sponsor us for a few more races. Yeah, we need to get our pit crew happier. Let's go ahead and sell our... Well, actually, that one's being overhauled, but let's sell this one. Chassis, sell. I think I'm going to keep the chassis, because I think we have more engines than we do chassis. We got 4 engines. And 4 chassis right now. If we can balance it out where we've got equal chassis equals everything, we're in the good. Alright, so let me see here. What's another track that we could potentially win at? I may just go ahead and use the Daytona car for the Tropicana 400. Let's do this. Build. DY. Let's build an Indy car. Let's set that aside. Michigan, I just want junk, and Pocono, I just want junk. Alright, let's go into it. I can't remember if I ran the July car or not. And I need to find that out, because I want to save the Indy body, Indy everything for Indianapolis. Package sponsor is unhappy. Yeah, I figured. Yep. So let's go through the garage news. Package sponsor is unhappy. Chassis 14 is completed. Rear tire changer, front tire changer, they're both unhappy. Honestly, at this rate, I kind of wonder if I should just go ahead and fire them. I don't know. I find it funny because I've actually kept all of my crew members except the tire changes. The tire changes are the only ones consistently that are awful. And we got a new crew chief from last year this year. We've kept this team rather together. I guess the reason why the tire changes are unhappy is because they know that they're expendable. They mess up enough, they're going to get fired. Alright, car setup. Let's do this thing. $26, $74, $53, suspension, $45, $50, half, crank it up a turn. Gear ratios, 360, 190 to 140, 105. Alright. Let's see how this does up practice. Qualifying. So we got Jeff Gordon on the pole. Good job on Jeff. Okay, little slidey. Kind of slidey. Yeah, let's just restart qualifying. The reason why I'm restarting the qualifying run really is because we already know that the sponsor is probably going to drop us if we don't have a good run here. Best is to have a good, consistent first lap that's balanced and not hitting the wall. And then same with the second lap. An even better run. I don't think we'll hit Jeff Gordon's speed, but we'll be quick. 20th, not bad. Just diving in a bit deeper into the corner, see how that sticks. Balanced out.
That's a decent time. We can work with it.
19th. Only improved one position. But the good news is we're on the inside, so I like starting on the inside line anyway.
The NASCAR Winston Cup Series comes to Illinois this week for today's race, the Tropicana 400 at the Chicagoland Speedway. Marty, we're still kind of new to this place. What do you think so far?
This speedway is a 1.5-mile trioval with a wide racing surface and decent banking. That will keep the speeds up and the action very exciting.
The 40 car has had some bad luck the last 2 races.
Oh, he definitely wants to turn things around starting now. It's
Last 2 races. Dude, we won. We won Daytona.
If they pull off at least the top 15.
Frank Kimmel really needs a good finish in this race. He's got a long way to go on the points list.
And of course, nobody wants to be on the bottom of that points list. You'll have to work extra hard to pick up spots. Not an easy task to dig yourself out of a hole in this series.
John Andretti will start this race a little farther back than he's used to.
You know, I spoke with the guys from that
Alright, let's get into it.
Get ready. We're going for it.
26. Around lap 13 is our pit stop.
Got one on. The 6 car is still there. Got one down left. About 20. The 25 car is up high. Car inside.
Do not want to be on the outside.
On your line. He's still there. Three wide. That's another in the rearview mirror. Number 25. That's gonna run on you. The 25 is still there. Go easy on those eagles, buddy. Okay, we're clear. Run some more like that. The 10 car is outside.
Alright, into the brakes.
Number 10 is still there. Clear all around.
Oh. 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 Managed to hang on.
Interval between you and the leader is 4.5. Car inside. Gained another spot. You're clear. Take it easy on
Ah.
those tires.
Looped it.
The 26 car is coming up quick. Car high.
That's not good. At least we didn't get DNF'd. Alright, let's make a pit stop. Dang it. I find it sad that there's so few teams nowadays that run a consistent paint scheme like they did back in the early days of the 2000s and so. It'd be a one-off paint scheme here and there, but it's kind of crazy how expensive NASCAR has become.
We got 20 laps left.
Excuse me.
Four tires down. Is that air wrench jammed? Okay, he fixed it.
Alright, let's get to it.
Green, buddy. Go, go, go. Clear on both sides.
Give me 1 second. There we go. Figured if I close some stuff out of the Chrome, I can get the stream to run a little bit better. So one thing that I am going to try to do in the future is VSR. I know I tried to compete in like 2 events this season. Next season, when they start up, whenever that's going to be, I'm going to make a serious attempt at running the league.
Nice pass. Wow, you're fast. Clear. Car inside.
Ah, John Andretti.
Out there. Clear on both sides. Got one outside. We're about 7 seconds off the leader's backbone. Way to get around him, buddy. All clear, buddy. That's the lap time I'm looking for. Keep it up, buddy. The 36 car, up high. Number 36, it's still there. Be patient. He gained another position with that pass. Clear. The 36 car, that's gonna run on you. The 31 car is outside. You're okay. Clear on both sides. The leader has about 9 seconds on us. Got one outside. Clear. The leaders are coming into pit.
We're in a bit of a quandary because I don't think we'll have enough gas to make it to the end. But the question is when do we pit?
Up high. Oh yeah, great match, buddy. You're clear. This one's half off.
We've got a fast car, but it's not going to last us to the end of the race.
Got one outside. All right, now get hungry. We need to eat up this 10-second gap to the leader. All clear, buddy.
How did... Okay.
Check your gauges.
I'm surprised that yellow did not come out right as that happened.
What an exciting finish.
Wow, you know, you're right. That was an incredible finish to an even more incredible race. This NASCAR Winston Cup Series is so exciting to watch.
The 40 car didn't finish where he had hoped, due in part to the damage on his car, I'm sure.
Yeah, you can't expect a good finish when you don't take care of your car. But sometimes that's easier said than done in this series. There are certain times when you just have no place to go.
From all of us here at
So who won? Ricky Rudd. Ricky Rudd finally got a win. Alright, so if we've lost our sponsorship, it's really on me, so... No, we still have them for another race, but we have lost so much money. Let's just go ahead and release our tire changers. Alright, we're going to go ahead and save our career, and that's where I'm going to end it for the night. So, unfortunately, next race is going to be New Hampshire, because of course it's going to be. And then I think is Richmond, which we may be able to win. Pocono, then Indianapolis. Alright, let's go into team management one last time. We'll just hold on to that. We'll run that car at New Hampshire. So that's going to end it here, guys. I will see you next time. Good night, and I hope you enjoyed this race. So, see you then.